Welcome to the TGF Podcast. I'm Sosuke. We got Celal Snake.
Hello.
Mlopes.
Hello.
Guy.
Hello.
Morentz.
What up, dogs?
And Captain Cod.
Hi. Hello.
People probably don't know Captain Cod. He was on MGOF. He's a pretty epic guy, so we decided to chuck him in here. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, so whatever.
I like bikes! Sorry guys, you'll get that a lot throughout the podcast. I mean, I know it's about current MGO, and although I can't really comment as much, I do know some things about the game. It's for PlayStation 3. Other than that, can't really comment. So, anyway, you were saying...
So if you want seriousness, just go back 5 minutes and start again. Just stop before Steve comes in. Right. Let's start trying to be just a little bit more serious.
And professional.
It's not going to work, is it? Right. Let's start there.
Oh, no, we can't be serious. I mean, you know, we've even set up, you know, a wide selection of topics here. We've got, you know, the actual website, the TGF website. I haven't been there myself, but did some research about 10 or 15 seconds ago, and you know, it looks good. I mean, I imagine this is your work, is it, Suzuki? Yeah.
Yeah, I created it.
And what have we got going on here? I mean, I can see this. You know, there's a lot of stuff here, pay-to-click money making and things like that. Do you want to give us a brief rundown of all this showaddy-waddy going on down here?
Well, the Game Forums obviously came from the ashes of MGOF, just because I got bored, and you know, for some reason MGOF died. Don't know why. So
someone deleted it.
Wasn't it
Well,
mine?
there were certain elements involved in that. Bit of the that Mike demanded. What was it? Mike demanded something from a lot of people.
I don't know, yeah.
Was it
Mike,
praise and worship for the site to put back up? That's not a joke. I think
And donations to his
He used
PayPal.
to pay for it anymore.
yeah,
donations to his porn collection.
or several psalms. I remember. I'd have to ask Mike, but it was something along those ridiculous lines. But the long and short of it is the site got shut down.
Yeah, if I recall, Mike edited the front page of the website to say something like quite offensive.
The poems, we had to send them poems.
Oh yeah, that was it. He put his
Several
email
songs
up
and poems and said either 20 or 30.
to satisfy his needs.
Yeah,
He was only going to sell them for drugs. So to be honest with you,
Wow.
yeah,
My sister's
it
calling
wasn't.
me on Skype. Decline that.
Yeah, this is a serious conversation. So I mean, how's the site been going for you anyway?
Just being quite active. We're currently just getting enough money in to actually let this site survive through Google Ads. So yeah, it's going alright. Seems to have no bugs now, like the first original TGF, which was more buggy than Mike's underwear.
I didn't see many bugs in the base version, to be fair. I mean, I thought it ran quite smooth. In fact, I couldn't even tell the difference when we moved to a full version.
Well, the first bug was that if you tried to go onto like second pages of like of sections, that it would just go to a white screen, and I mean it was white screening a lot. It was like the white screen of death. So yeah, so that's been completely fixed by this new version. So it's all pretty much working, thankfully.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to say you've picked up. I'm glad to see you've been developing and working hard by the looks of it. I mean, it does actually look really good. You got that little chat bar at the top and all that sort of decent stuff, and it's a vast range of things to talk about. And this is me not,
It's a major thing which has happened recently, which has caused actually quite a bit of controversy. It's actually been you making Freeze admin. Like, and there's been a massive amount of complaints about it. Like, there's a whole thread. I think it was started by Snife. But to be fair, like, I mean, being a mod myself, I actually know how much work everyone does. And Freeze has been the most active mod for a very long time. And to be fair to him, I think he does actually deserve that admin spot.
Well, I mean, I spoke to Freeze, Tom, isn't it? Freeze.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with Tom a while back, and he seemed a very, sensible stand-up guy. So, I mean, just from my initial reactions of him, I mean, the admin place seems fine. He seems like a sensible guy to have done it. So I'd say that was a sensible inclusion to the admin roster. So fair play to whoever did that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stop commenting and praising people, because this is not what I do. I don't torment to death. I'll have to stop that in a minute.
No.
Anyway, yeah. Is there any? Well, you've got obviously got this this league going on at the moment. I mean, how's that panning out?
It seems to be going all right. There doesn't seem to be many problems or anything like that. But we would really need somebody to come in to actually say what's going on. We've had a few conclusions to it. Like, let's have a look here.
We've had games like STL versus PBO, which is probably the only memorable one in my eyes anyway, because PBO went out very convincingly to STL. So well done STL, and congratulations.
Yes, and just to clarify, this is definitely not Matt rubbing it in.
No,
just to clarify,
I'm not in the slightest bit, jealous or envious that I'm no longer in PBO or anything. It's just I hate Merkent. I can't really say more than that. Well done STL. That was a good win. And to be honest with you, STL are probably gonna storm the league in my opinion. Anyway.
I don't think so.
They got some great players.
You reckon they're the new top 10?
I think they are. I mean, among the new breed of the new breed of pros and stuff, I think STL have the best combination. I think they'd outclass 2TM whenever they come round to it. I hear they're a bit scared to go up against 2TM, which I don't know why. I heard that they would.
2TM have always had this aura about them that they're awesome and stuff, and it's not true. They're just arrogant. Sorry, guys, you are. That's my personal opinion. I mean, great players, yes, a little bit arrogant.
Yeah.
Do you think any clans have really gone down the shitholes recently?
I think it's just been a general rise. I don't think any clan has sort of gone completely off the rails.
Has a bit.
At the end of the day, Doomsday Legion have been going downhill for an incredibly long time.
I think
they haven't really, because they were quite good back in the day, but they're supposed to be playing in this, but they didn't even play their match apparently, from what I heard.
Yeah.
So it's just I really don't think that DTL are anything special anymore. In fact, I think they're just scum.
Yeah, well, they always have been, and in fact, I think when that little glitching period, which is still happening now, but when it got real serious, like the glitching and the mowing and the lag switching and stuff in Survivor Tournament, DDL started to lose quite a lot of respect, even more respect than they lost quite a while ago. They used to be a top clan, and to be honest, I used to have respect for MF Doom, and players like that, but not anymore. They just seem to be very arrogant and like to say their shit.
With MF Doom is that he was quite an early display of just outright arrogance. Sort of like the stuff where he would come into it, I heard rumours that going into the making people almost bow down to him because he was the highest level in the room. And so it's like people have lost a lot of respect for a lot of players who are just too arrogant, too competitive. And
the problem.
Very early example of that happening, and that's why he lost a lot of respect very early on.
They lost that respect because MF Doom was. I mean, I'll give him his due. He was a good player, but he tried to build a team around the fact that he used to hide around walls and play deathmatch like TDMs a lot. And I'm sure a lot of people know, you need to be playing every mode to be.
Yeah,
he was a good player. I'll give him that. And with the guns like XM8 and M4 and that, he was probably one of the best I played when it was one of the in the early days when it was F6, PBO, etc. And Controy's only one of the other players that were actually dangerous, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. DDL are probably only dangerous actually when it is TDM and rescue, when they're sort of taking the back foot off the pedal, And but when it's full throttle game modes, capture and race and stuff, they tend to fall short quite a lot. Like Steve was saying, they don't really have that all-roundness about them.
Yeah. I mean, I've only started playing again, quite recently. I mean, past 2 or 3 days, and it's the only thing I noticed now. I've been lag switched about 4 or 5 times in about 4 or 5 different games and played in the space of 2 days. I mean, is this a growing problem? I mean, I know Konami said they were dealing with it, but from your guys' perspective, has it actually got any better?
Well, for 2 tournaments that I played recently, I've lost in the final to a glitching team. But apart from that, I didn't see any teams. We didn't play in the other tournament any glitches. But overall amount of survival, I've sort of found that it's not that there's less of them, it's that people are starting to wise up to who the switches are. And sort of like this whole thing where everyone's whining about people are boarding for like their GP. I don't think that's necessarily for their GP. I think it's just they don't want lag switches. And this whole aborting sort of idea is just sort of come out of the idea that, you know what, they're going to win, fuck them, let them not have a match. It's much better that way for us than it is for them. So, I mean, it's not that, I think there's still quite a few about, but I think we just want their first time better.
Yeah, lag switches and malwares do ruin tournament for me. I mean, survival isn't that bad because obviously you play as many games as you can in the 4 hours. And you're not always going to come constantly against glitches, but I mean, when you get a tournament and you're on the side where you're like 2 games in, you know, you got good teams to start with, and you're like, oh yeah, we win these, you know, easy. And then, you know, the fourth round in, you get a bunch of glitches. Like the other day, I was playing with Team Neo, and we came across the clan Ultra Power 2.0. Now I hear they're quite a well-known, established glitcher clan. And they just dominated us. I mean, especially in a game mode like Rescue, they just like shat all over us. There's nothing you can do, and it does ruin it because I haven't won a tournament for a year now probably. You know, ever since.
I mean, I had a little flirt, shall we say, with MGR. I played a couple of tournaments in the midst of all this, and I think I got so annoyed that I gave up after, 2 tournaments after the same day. I thought I'm not going anywhere near the game again because it was completely pointless. I didn't see a point in entering a tournament, only to not win it. Because it defies the point of entering something, because surely if you're going to enter it, you're going to want to win. You're not want to try and get... It's not about the reward. It's about the satisfaction of winning a tournament.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know how Konami really go about how they ban people, like... Do they actually respond to our emails through the support site? And
it's all awful, isn't it? It just seems like they don't give a crap, and they've got all their money. It's not like they're going to release any more expansions now. The only thing they can do is if they do get them out, all they can do is ban them, and then hope to God they buy another account because that way they get another like tenner.
Yeah.
As the only thing they can do it for. At the end of the day, they just expect ours to get another account, and that's the way that it works for them.
I mean, my personal thoughts on it is it must be for Mowen to appear prominently in one game and not in many others. It's a coding problem. I mean, we've seen countless times RM's fantastic videos on his thing about the inherent mechanics of people walking off the edge of, say, a roof or something like that, and them appearing on the floor because there's poorly designed mechanics, and it's stemmed over, I think, into the actual connectivity between players. The idea that everyone connects uniquely to a central host is flawed, in my opinion. Because obviously Mowing preys on that. I mean, Mowing isolates that person's connection from everyone else and just to the host, enabling them to do pretty much as they please.
It should be server-based. It just should be server-based, because if you've got a server, you can't mow a server.
That's what I...
You have to sort of almost blame the community as well. I mean, to be fair, like, it's a very small community in comparison to all the other games that are out there, really, to be fair. Yeah. And I think the problem is that it was so elitist, and it was so hard. I mean, there was like 3 months when like 2TM won every elite tournament that happened. I mean, Carnifex made like a bunch of money selling tournament wins. And I think the problem was that it was so difficult to beat these top clans. The lads who were sort of playing casually, who just wanted to win the little like beret here and there, were getting so annoyed that they just couldn't do it because they were being so bad in our class. They just resorted to it, and that's all that it is. I think
it's not necessarily that there's more glitches; it's more prominent. Yeah, it is more prominent. I think it's just the difference in standards is so sort of like defined in MGO that people will have to resort to it in order to get some wins, while in, say, something like COD or Red Dead Redemption, for example, it doesn't really matter what sort of skill level you're on. You get lucky here and there, and you get a decent win, and you're like, but like you get your wins. But also with a tournament involved as well, it's much more structured, which means that people want to win more as well because it's so much more structured than rather than having a random game where you just go in and play. It's like free battle is the equivalent of what COD has, Red Dead Redemption has, and because of that, like because there's nowhere near as much competitiveness in it, because there's like no reward for winning, then there's no glitching in it. So it's not only the elitist attitude, it's just also the structure that it has.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the elitist sort of side of things. I mean, there was a period when the top 2 or 3 clans just won everything, and the others didn't really have a shoe in. And to be honest, it does come down to the small community, and it's kind of emphasised because of the small community. You know, more glitches in a small community is gonna show up.
You've got to run into them more often, aren't you? I mean,
yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
COD,
if there was
COD, like 250,000 players. If it had the same level of glitches that we had, that'd be about 40,000 people, and it would be sorted and dealt with. But you know, it's not the same sort of level on MGO.
It's something that we've come to accept at the end of the day now. I mean, I've just accepted it as something that happens, and to be honest with you, it doesn't really bother me that much because I say this kind of arrogantly, but I've won all the tournaments, I've got all the rewards, so to be honest with you, they can have their rewards. I don't know what sort of benefits they get out of that later in life for getting so many reward points. But I hope their red beret looks brighter than mine.
Well, at least they know how to wire a switch.
Yeah, that's always a handy thing to have in life is that ability. I mean, I'll take my master's degree any day, but wiring a switch, yeah, you go, mate, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they keep the electric on whilst they're wiring that switch, because they're probably that fixed.
I mean,
to quickly, who you think will win TGF League? Just sort of like, I mean, Mlopes has said that his prediction is STL.
Yeah, I reckon STL will do it, to be honest with you. I mean, if they've beaten PBO, and to be honest with you, PBO aren't, like, bad now. I mean, you know, they lost a few good players, but nah, they're still good, you know, and it's not like they didn't try, because they were 2-0 up. Were they 2-0 up? I think they were. I think they were 2-0 up, and then they lost it 3-2. So I don't know. It's a shame England couldn't, you know, beat the Germans at their own game like that. But there we go. Unlucky PBO. So yeah, STL for me. I think they're much better than PL. PL got one good lagger. His name's Liam, and the rest of them aren't that good.
How's Team Neo doing? I hear they're pretty good for a new clan.
Yes, Team Neo. Yeah, they seem to be doing pretty well. I mean, that's why I joined them the other day, and they have a decent bunch of players, and hopefully we'll work something out. They've been predicted to do quite well, but I still think that STL will walk the league. I think they're a very, very good team now.
I personally think that Potential will win, as much as I hate to admit that, because I cannot stand Potential because they're filled with laggy scumbags at the end of the day. But I just think that sort of like their teamwork is very hard to compete. Maybe due to their lag, which I always find is horrific whenever I play them. But they do have good teamwork, and they do have some quite players. I mean, players like Disco Mad, absolutely flat, let's be fair, but he's still a very good quality player, and he can play to sort of the best standards and outdo a lot of players. So I think the Potential stand a good chance. I mean, there's some good teams in the league itself, but I just think that Potential will get it eventually.
I'm not really sure because I haven't played it since November, Metal Gear, but I've been talking to Zaki because he's in my Modern Warfare 2 clan, and it just sounds like STL are one of the best clans at the moment, if not the best.
I haven't really been about, so I don't really know. Because sort of like
I think it's going to be a very close shout between. I still think 2TM, even though they lost a few key players, but they've still got players. They've still got players like Ferrari, Noob, Mantis. I mean, they're your key players. If you lose them, I mean, 2TM are nothing, you know. But I still think, honestly, that STL would breeze 2TM, like 3-0 probably.
2TM aren't playing this tournament. They dropped out.
Oh yeah, I did hear they might do, because I heard that White Mantis was going to the army like sometime now. So I mean, they didn't want to play without Mantis. That's fair enough. They're not half the team without the White Mantis. He makes up like 6 players. So you know.
It's also part of the identity type thing. Can you really claim they're 2TM without White Man? Like, can you really claim they're 2TM?
Yeah, I guess so. That was the argument used last time when PBO beat 2TM 3-0 in a clan war. This was about a year ago actually. Now, about a year ago. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I remember that clan going very well. We beat 2TM 3-0, but 2TM were without White Mantis, and the argument sprung up after the game. You know, is White Mantis would White Mantis made any impact? You know, to that tournament? But that's like saying like.
Well, I mean, my answer to that would have been yes, obviously, but one player does not a clan make.
Yeah.
This is a very simple answer to that. You make a clan based on a collection of strong players, and relying on one player isn't great, really.
No, yeah.
That's destined to fail.
Yes. But nonetheless, 2TM is still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. So let's move swiftly on away from MGO for the time being, and we'll take the transition over to Call of Duty. Guys, any of you guys play Call of Duty often? And what do you think? What's cracking in the world of Call of Duty?
Well,
I'm in our GB clan, Technics. We stopped playing GBs. I can't remember why. The people were having exams and stuff, but the game's just, I think, too easy. It's easy to do well. There's no skill involved in it, so that's why I'm waiting until the next one, Black Ops. Hopefully it'll be a lot better.
that's true, but that's so much more enjoyable than MGO. I think with those theaters, it just ruins the game actually. So, I stopped playing MGO and now I'm just playing Call of Duty, and that's so much more fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Because with the new packs and all, map packs, it's real fun. I like it.
The main differences between like Call of Duty and MGO for me is that deaths happen a lot quicker, regardless of where you hit someone in the body. But I mean, say for example on MGO, it's basically a headshot game. Always has been, even on MGO 1. But if you're aiming at the body, it takes about 20 seconds longer to kill someone than if you aim at their head.
Yeah.
Because of the fact there's a slight delay between about 3 or 4 bullets before the next one actually registers for some bizarre reason unbeknown to me. But when you go on, say, Call of Duty, you fire 3 bullets, it's bang, 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 gone.
Yeah.
And the person's dead, and you have to react quickly to that.
Doesn't
Sorry,
COD have a dedicated server?
No, it's still host-based.
It's host-based, yeah.
Host-based, yeah.
Host-based on
But the
PS.
The next one, Black Ops, it will have dedicated servers, so it'll remove a lot of the lag issues, hopefully.
Well,
Is there many problems with lag in cards? Because I don't play personally.
Yes.
There can be. Yes, there can be some.
If someone shoots you and you duck on your screen behind the wall, you'll get shot, and on the kill cam, you'll still be standing behind the wall.
Yeah, it's similar to MGO in that respect, because
that little pingy sort of lag is always going to be there. But that'll be on any online game you play, and it's purely because data takes time to get from A to B. What's it
like with this whole sponging idea? Because there's a huge problem with people sponging on Metal Gear Online because of upload problems. Is there like much card?
I don't find it that much. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't tend to find it that much. Every gun's got its weaknesses and strengths, but hit someone with an RPD twice, they will die. It's not really much of a.
I think Celal can back me up when I say that I rage quite a bit when people sponge my shots.
Yeah.
Whenever it is, I
That's
shoot
it.
someone with like a FAMAS, one burst, they're not dying. They shoot me in the foot and I'm dead. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always complaining about that. If anyone that plays with me can back me up on that.
I've never really found it to be as much of a problem as, say, on MGO, where you could shove your P90 down the opponent's mouth and fire it, and they'd still walk off. Maybe you'll get mono to say you hit them in the arm, but other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call of Duty though, I mean, do you guys enjoy it more because, like you're saying earlier, that it's, you don't need any skill involved. It's sort of like you pick it up, you play it, you can put it down, come back to it in like a week's time, and you're still as good as you were, But it's the complete opposite with MGO, I guess.
The skill's debatable though, because if you think about it, on Metal Gear, you can headshot someone and it takes skill to kill them. On Call of Duty, if it's so easy for you to die by getting one-shotted or two-shotted or whatever, in a way it makes the game skillful as well to stay alive.
It's hard to staying alive on Call of Duty. I mean, I think I've got something stupid like 20,000 deaths on that, and it's about, I only played a total of 9 days playing time, and I've got about 25,000 on my MGO account. So you die a lot more, a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, with the noob tubes now, you're getting noob tubed all the time. I mean,
of course, it's a one-hit kill, which makes sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure if a grenade went off by me in real life, I would die. I don't know about MGO's take on it. Whereas, in fact, you'd go 20 foot in the air and then teleport 7 yards to the right. I don't know if that would happen. Maybe some parts of you will teleport 7 yards to the right, but certainly not the whole body.
I reckon you can draw a comparison between Konami and Infinity Ward with their lack of dealing with the problems in each game.
Well, Infinity Ward doesn't even exist now, does it?
It still exists. They just separated from the Activision for the
because I know
development Call of Duty.
Because I know the CEOs were both sacked.
Yeah, they were sacked by Activision, but they're still their own company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about COD is that you never ever lose any stats or anything. You just get deaths. You never lose your level. But in MGO, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
It depends how good you are.
I think that's the best system. That's why I never was attracted to COD. This idea that the more you play, the higher your level is. I mean, yeah, that could be true. But let's say something a lower prestige or something coming absolutely tank you, but then there's no actual evidence to suggest that they're better than you. Just because, but like you're shown as better because you played more. I don't think that's a fair system. I quite like the GP system and the level system, as frustrating as it is. But
the GP system, I thought that was an old adaptation of the Versus Point system on MGO1, which is still my favourite system that they ever had, rating you against everyone else in the room all the time, as opposed to giving you a level. That was my favourite system.
Oh yeah, I can't forget about that. What was that system? I can't remember.
It was Versus Point rankings.
But nobody really looked at that. I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't as highly considered when I played it. I mean,
it wasn't highly considered. Everyone took that other one serious for some reason. The one that just stated how long you played for
and how much time and effort you put into boosting. So
pretty much, yeah.
It was. But do you guys reckon? Just going. I know we're coming off topic with the off of Call of Duty right now, but going back to MGO again. And what Guy was saying about the level system, do you reckon that level system and GP system has sort of ruined MGO in some sort of respect, or do you reckon it's made it more competitive?
I reckon the people ruined it, because if people weren't so bothered about it, we wouldn't have glitching and all the problems associated with it. But then again, it's good because it shows relevant skill to everyone else on the server.
The problem is, though, I go into a room and if I see 10 level 17s, I get my finger out, I lick it and I go, lagger, glitcher, twat, lagger, and then I leave.
I think the main problem with the GP system hasn't got anything to do with glitches or anything like that. I think it's when you're literally playing with your team, people are so focused on their own stats that you lose the entire teamwork system that you've built up, just because they're focusing so much on a number, and it's so aggravating to watch, and so many players will do it. I mean, I've done it in the past before, I'm not going to lie, and it lost us.
It lost us games and things like that, just because people were trying to like run something or get the other stuff off them, or get stealing kills and things like that. I mean, people move out of position in order to get it. And it's
the thing with that is it's counterbalanced by the reward system. So if you play to win, you'll win rewards as well. You might lose a bit of GP, but that means some people won't care about it too much.
Yeah, I mean, people do go for the win. I mean, I can give an example. You guys heard of a player called Agenda? He's currently in PBO.
Yeah.
I mean, he camps right at the back. He camps right at the back of the map, and it's all about that double plus for him. You know, if he ain't getting double plus, you know, he gets angry. And I mean, I've been on the receiving end of many of his shouting and stuff.
I mean, I've come back the past couple of days, and I've hosted a couple of interesting games, shall we say. I mean, Matt can vouch for these interesting games. I'll give you a brief example. There was one that was 20 rounds of BB, TDM, one ticket.
Full on.
20 rounds of it. Basically, you make a mistake, your entire team lose. And me and Connor played through it, and it was fun. And like the only reason Connor came into the room is because he was on his ult, because God forbid his level. But it was actually fun because it was something, you know, different. I might as well try it, see what it was like. I enjoyed it. Just so you know, guys, I'm going to be hosting more of those rooms. Feel free to join. Just try it on an ult.
There's been games like
Might even come in and record that.
Sort of like zombie and hide and seek and stuff like that. Which is sort of like, it's similar in sort of idea that you're not playing the game properly and just sort of adapting how you play. I mean, there's some brilliant which like haven't been brought up anymore. So there's stuff like paintball, which was VZ only, and you could only use one shots. That was a lot of fun when I used to play it, but it's just sort of like you go through trends with it as well. So maybe you just create something which everyone will be playing for the next like 5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, that zombie game that got invented, that's the only one that I'm aware of, and that was good. That was a good laugh when I've been in a few rooms like that. And like you say, every time I go onto ArtCon nowadays, there's always at least one zombie room up. You know, people quite enjoy it, and whoever made that up, well done on thinking.
Kudos to you.
Just to point out, Zombie was actually a mode on Time Splitters 2 on the PS2. So it was someone just copied that from a game. Sorry.
Oh right, well.
Whoever did that, well done for transitioning it over, but you have just copied it from a game.
Yeah, well, I take back everything I ever said about. Yeah, I'll take back everything.
It's just a copying pile of dicks.
Well, sorry to whoever invented it, but.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Anyway, I think probably sensible to take it off MGO now a little bit. I mean, it's called the gaming forums, not the MGO only specifically forums.
Yeah.
Anyone looking forward to anything? I know what me and Matt are looking forward to, but we'll get to that in a minute. Anyone else looking forward to anything?
Only Black Ops, really.
Little Big Planet 2 looks to be, it's just like when Little Big Planet came around, everyone was like, oh, I gotta get this game, it's showing what the PS3 can do. The Little Big Planet 2 is adding quite a lot of stuff, so I would really like to see that, and I'll probably be getting that about as instantly as it comes out.
Yeah, I enjoyed Little Big Planet 1 a heck of a lot. That was one of the that was the definition of a game to me. People getting together and fucking about and not really achieving anything. That was a lot of fun to me. Times playing it with Dinger had me in absolute stitches.
Especially the lag.
Oh yeah, not on beat to go lag spike on Little Big Planet. They've
actually sorted that stuff out now. My little brother still plays it, and I've seen him. He's pretty good. I reveal his PSN because I know there's a lot of perverts out there. But
especially on TGF.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, it doesn't lag whatsoever. I mean, I remember when I used to play at the beginning when it came out. It had so many lag spikes, and it what put me off a little bit playing it. But now they seem to have sorted out, and Little Big Planet 2 look pretty interesting with the new modes that they're introducing. And the control creations that you can make within the level. It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
One particular game I'm looking forward to. It's a bit out of left field. Matt will have heard me harping on about it a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty looking forward to it as well, Steve. So
well, not that one actually. Another one. Yakuza 4. Or Yakuza 3 for the PS3. And by the way, it's a fantastic game. If anyone recommends it. If anyone ever played Shenmue on the Dreamcast, similar to that.
Oh, yeah.
Only with a lot more bashing heads into cars and getting stuffed toys out of machines. Don't try and make sense of that, anyone. You'll have to play Yakuza to figure that out, but it's a great game because you can do whatever the hell you feel like, really.
Yes. I guess we should touch on the new Metal Gear Rising game. Obviously, the trailer was revealed at E3, and
I just my pants.
Did you actually?
Oh wait.
Yes. The one thing
it's not gonna be Metal Gear. I mean, it's completely changed. That's not gonna be. I mean, how can I say that? It's not Metal Gear.
Yeah, definitely. It's a completely different basis of a game. If you just see Raiden running around with a sword, there's a whole stealth element of Metal Gear.
It's like it's even Make Cry or something.
Are they actually making a Metal Gear 3?
It's clearly going to split their fan base in two. I think.
The one thing I can see that could probably, get going with maybe Rising is if they add move support, because I think it would be amazing with move.
Yeah, that would be interesting. The new PlayStation Move that comes out quite soon, I think. That would be interesting if Metal Gear Rising was compatible. Obviously, Metal Gear Rising going over to the Xbox as well. Do you think that went over to the Xbox now because you think it is kind of a different element of game now? It's completely different.
No.
So they thought, let's put it on the Xbox.
I think it's because of the basis and how many people have a PS3 in comparison to how many people have a 360. It makes perfectly sense for Konami to make a game which is going to bring you more revenue and kind of bigger machine.
Yeah, I sort of agree with you there, Guy, but then I disagree because I think when I got my PlayStation back when it came out, the only reason I got it was in anticipation of the new Metal Gear game.
Same.
I didn't buy the PlayStation for anything else, And the best way to put it for me is I bought a PlayStation 3, got Resistance and MotorStorm with it. But the only game that I played on my PlayStation for the first few months was Metal Gear Solid 3 online. You don't on the PlayStation 2 game. I mean, the PlayStation 3 didn't really appeal to me. It was the aspect of Metal Gear. So I don't know if what we're saying about because the main audiences are on Xbox. I don't think that's the case. I think the main audience bought a PlayStation to play Metal Gear. Not bought an Xbox to wait.
It's going to get the random buyers, the people who sort of say, "Oh, that looks a little bit cool," and I'll pick it up for my 360. So it's easy. If you're going to have more people who are accessible to it, and more people are going to buy it overall. Admittedly, I did the exact same. I bought my PlayStation 3 in order to get Metal Gear Solid 4, but still, I know people who have bought 360 and said, "There's loads of really good games there." Oh yeah, I really quite like to buy Metal Gear Online, but it wasn't available for me. So, I think it still makes sense that 360 users will buy it, and it also makes sense that maybe not the main basis, not quite the concentrated fan basis. But
it's not as if
360 overall.
Yeah.
It's not as if Konami hasn't ported over before. They did it for the GameCube, if I remember rightly, when they did remake some Metal Gear Solid off the PS1. Yeah, Twin Snakes, yeah. It's not as if they haven't done it before. It's not as if it's a shock development that should all surprise us. They have done it before.
No.
Well, it wasn't really ported over. It was. It came out in 2001, 2002. It was a complete remake for the GameCube with like upper graphics, better cutscenes, and all that.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a direct port. I know that much. I mean, I played it myself, and the graphics were, revamped, and there was elements of MGS2 in MGS1, if I remember right, like moving into lockers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it didn't sell at all. It almost sold, I think, only a few, couple 10,000 copies, something like that. So it's
mainly put down to the game.
It did get boycotted by the community though, the sort of fan basis, because a lot of them just thought it was a crappy remake. Didn't enjoy it as much as the first one and said don't bother buying it. I mean, I remember on the forums, like on GameSpot forums around that sort of time, everyone was just coming onto the Metal Gear Solid 2 board going to absolutely wank, don't bother buying it.
Yeah.
Well, I got MGS1 for PS, so I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the original. I mean, I've watched the cutscenes of the Twin Snakes. I mean, there are a few good ones. Like, for example, when the ninja faces off against Rex, that looks pretty good. And when the ninja meets Snake and they do some like Matrix shit over like a flying piece of rubble, it's a bit crazy, but a bit OTT and a bit Japanese, as you would suspect.
Yeah.
The one which got me was when Snake got a missile fired at him and did backflip, landed on it and jumped off.
Yes.
That always backed me up whenever I watch that one.
Yeah.
Completely over the top.
Definitely.
I'm going to move on to that game, Matt.
The game of the year. I reckon.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be game of the year for some people. It'll certainly be the most important one of the year for me, anyway. But I'm a huge fan of the series. It'll be Final Fantasy XIV, ladies and gents. I've been waiting for this for a while. An MMORPG that I'll actually play and not think that I'm gay.
Well, the last Final Fantasy game, the last Final Fantasy game that came out, didn't do particularly well. In fact, I got bored halfway through. So
you see, there was your problem. You only played it till halfway through. It is boring for the first half. Unfortunately for Final Fantasy games, the first half of the game is about 25 hours. So you're going to be bored for a while.
I mean, I've played Final Fantasy games where I've actually enjoyed it, like Final Fantasy the Dirge of Cerberus. That was an amazing game, very underrated. And it was basically just Vincent Valentine blowing everyone's head off. What could be better?
I don't know, a Final Fantasy game.
I think Final Fantasy has always started off slow. I mean, Final Fantasy X, for example, I mean, there's a lot of scenes.
Yeah, I mean, playing 13, I'll throw my 2 cents in, and I'll honestly admit it was the most boring 25 hours I've ever played in my life. Followed by the hardest, most intense boss battles I've fought since like 7 or 8. Fighting boss X, just to, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. At the end was great. I did that about 20 times. It was that hard, but in the end, I was happy, and I left on my bed, and maybe or may not went and punched my mother. Enjoy, but it rewarded, for sitting there for 25 hours. Let's put it that way. Give it another go, Suzuki.
I think if they had a button that said skip the boring bit, they would just skip to the final battle.
The last 10 hours or so were the only hard battles, really. Everything else before that pretty dull.
Well, games are supposed to be exciting, always
entertaining throughout. I know. That's why it received extremely mixed reviews.
That's why you shouldn't really make a game that has 25 hours in which you want to bash your head on the wall.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, you want to punch your mum. I mean, that doesn't sound like it. If you put that on the back as the tagline: 25 hours of boredom followed by family assault. You wouldn't really sell games.
Final Fantasy always reminded me of Metal Gear Solid series because it's all. I never really. I enjoy the gameplay, of course, but the main reason I used to play it was for the stories, like how intricate Metal Gear Solid 2 was, and like my favourite Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy X, personally. I just thought the story now was absolutely brilliant, and I think that, yeah, it may get boring, but as long as there's a strong story and strong characters, then you're compelled to keep going through maybe the boring bits just to find out what happens to them. I think that Final Fantasy has always managed to do that quite well.
In its defence, it did have a good story, 13. I mean, the stories on majority, you know, are good. I mean, 7 story, everyone obviously knows how good 7 story was. 8 was okay, quite confusing in parts, but still, you know, a decent story. 9 as well. I mean, I downloaded 7 and 8 off the PSN. I haven't got round to doing 9 yet, but I'll probably play that again. I guess while we're on PSN, may as well jump in with a bit about that new PlayStation Plus thing that's been brought out. I mean, I know Matt decided to buy it, and he's still the only person on my PSN list that has it.
Yeah, has it as well.
So, like, Matt, if you want to just sort of have a breakdown for people of basically what it is.
Yeah, I think if you have 40 quid spare, you should really buy it. I mean, I think the thing that tempted me to really buy it was the well, I don't know what kind of PSN games they're going to bring out along with the PlayStation Plus that are going to be of use. But I mean, this month the PlayStation game that they had offering to download was Wipeout HD and Little Big Planet. I mean, they're both quite old games, but they're very, very good games to, you know. I mean, it's only £3 something a month when you work it out. So the other features that come with it, you get as well as the free PlayStation games every month, you get 1 new PS1 game, 2 mini games. You get some map packs for free. This month, as far as I was aware, it was only Killzone. Killzone 2 map packs were available for free, not at discount. Many other games and downloads off the PSN store were at discounted prices and stuff. And this is going to happen throughout the month. And as far as I was aware, new features such as cross-game chatting, which hasn't been released yet, will be exclusive for PlayStation Plus subscribers. I mean, that's a feature that the PlayStation has longed to have, and I think for the price tag of 40 quid, as well as getting, you know, all of the games for free that they will be offering, and, you know, exclusive rights to betas and demos for everyone else. You know, I think definitely for 40 quid a year, you know, I found it definitely worthwhile. I wouldn't rate it as high as spending 40 quid for Xbox Live, because when you subscribe to Xbox Live, you're buying basically an internet connection with, you know, servers, because connection online, you know, on the Xbox, I have both the consoles, and I'll take FIFA for an example. On the PlayStation, I can never connect to anyone on FIFA unless I open up my port on my router. On my Xbox, however, you know, I go on it and I can connect to everyone. So you're paying 40 quid for good service on the Xbox. On the PlayStation, you're paying 40 quid for games and potential, you know, services like they've got cross-game chat that will be coming out soon. So it's up to you, really. That's probably why most people haven't bought it. I mean, I only have 4 people on my PSN that have it, and they're the keynotes that have PlayStation. So.
There was one rumoured feature that they were going to put on there, which was extended warranty for PlayStation 3. That if you stayed as a subscriber, then you would have warranty for your PS3. But that's never surfaced. I mean, I just saw it on
that was always the PlayStation Play. I think that got changed into something else, PlayStation Play, which is $5 a month. You actually go through the PlayStation site itself, it's $5 a month, and if
So we're discussing Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah,
why not?
let's go for that.
Okay. Yeah, well, only just come out, of course, by Rockstar, saying makes GTA 4 and etc, etc, etc. And essentially it is just Wild West GTA. But it is. I think it's actually a lot better than Grand Theft Auto 4. I mean, I played Grand Theft Auto 4 and it was pretty good, but I just don't think. I think that with Red Dead Redemption, they properly nailed the sandbox sort of idea. Like, there's so much to do overall in the entire game. You could literally you could spend your entire life playing it basically, because there's just so much to do in it. As for online, it's a very similar system for leveling up as cards, with legend levels instead of prestiging, etc., etc. It's quite hard online, because especially if you're playing, there's two modes. There's the hardcore aim mode, which is where you don't have auto aim, and then there's the other mode where everyone auto aims everyone, and like with auto aim, it makes it impossible to move, and it makes it incredibly easy to kill someone as well. And if you play it with auto aim off, I find it a lot more fun, a lot harder, it takes a lot more skill.
Yeah.
Well, what did you guys all talk about? Have you all looked at the trailers if you haven't bought it, or was it not?
I played like the first 10 minutes of the game. On the Xbox though. It seemed okay. It had the same sort of feel as GTA in terms of load up and the sort of storyline it was heading towards.
Yeah.
The GTA feeling in the instructions on how to play. It was basically it is a Wild West of GTA. It makes you think if Rockstar have run out of ideas and they're using the same old to create just a different plot, and I don't know if it worked out, because isn't it going for like the game of the year or something like that?
Yeah, most probably. I'm not entirely sure, but
yeah, I mean, I can't think of another game that got released this year. I don't know about you, Steve, or Celal. I don't know if another game really tops it this year in 2010. I mean, it's been a pretty slow year in terms of games.
Yeah, gaming's not been this year's strong point, really, for the PS.
It's more about innovation and technology. I mean, we got stuff like the PlayStation Move coming out.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. It looks like a Wiimote with a ball on the end.
Yeah.
Wow. E3 was complete wank this year, except for a few topics, like Portal 2. If you ever played Portal 1, it's just
I've got the orange box there, and I was tempted to play it, and I want an opinion on it. So if you've got a decent, is it good to play?
Yeah, it's incredibly good. I mean, Portal, you got to use your mind quite a bit, but it's incredibly fun. If you played it through it, and you'll find it fun.
Oh, cool.
Portal 2 coming on the way just improves the graphics, improves pretty much everything. It's set like 100 years after the original one, where you put in a coma at the end by the GLaDOS. Oops, spoiler there. So, it really just really brings out Portal 2 is going to be amazing. I mean, Gabe Newell, whatever his name is, I can't remember what his name is, came out on the stage at the PS3 conference, which was the highlight of the PS3 conference. PlayStation Move and all that stupid crap I don't really care about. It's Portal. Looks amazing, Portal 2. So, what games did you find good in E3?
Well, the actual PlayStation 3 elements of it, I wasn't particularly pleased with. I was expecting to see more from games I want to see. I mean, obviously everyone's got their own opinions, but to see about 10 seconds of Final Fantasy 14 wasn't my favourite either. I mean, there was just little bits of every game as opposed to a
proper full-on presentation.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It was
the only thing which I saw at E3, which tickled my fancy slightly, was Assassin's Creed Lineage, and I looked at it, and it just, it looked crap, to be perfectly honest. I think the whole point of Assassin's Creed the original was it was sandbox, and Assassin's Creed 2 was just linear, and I just don't think it'll go anywhere, personally.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the highlight for me with E3, it's going along with what the PlayStation, I think, was striving for to release this year, is the 3D element that's being brought onto the PlayStation now. I know that 3D play will take a while to hit off, especially at the extortionate prices that Sony are currently charging for their 3D TVs, upwards of around £2,000. I'm going to guess But in a few months' time, I'm going to guess, like the HD TVs did, they're going to absolutely skyrocket. Drop, sorry. And the games that they showed at E3, like Killzone 3, and they have other games on the PlayStation Store, like Wipeout HD, that will be in 3D and stuff. And I think games like that, will come alive, and it just opens up a new aspect for the PlayStation. I don't think Xbox have anything in the pipeline in terms of 3D, and I don't think their console can actually cope with it anyway. I think you need a Blu-ray disc to hold this sort of data.
Well, let's just say that the only part of the Microsoft conference that I saw was a bunch of twats on stage playing with Kinect. For Jesus, at least have something completely new to bring to the market. That, they're bringing something completely new to the market, and they've literally just shown a bunch of idiots of what you're going to look like when you're playing this game. And it was all pre-recorded, all pre-rendered, and, it just showed that Microsoft really didn't care.
Mm. Yeah, you say Microsoft don't care. I think that's true. With the Xbox Slimline version, I think it's called, that they bought out, they finally included Wi-Fi within the console, which is a first.
If you've noticed, it seems like Microsoft have taken most of the technologies, most of the stuff from the PlayStation 3, except the Blu-ray drive, which is completely stupid that they haven't done that, and brought it to the Xbox. If you notice how it's all glossy, touch-sensitive buttons, it all seems to be a bit reminiscent of the the PS3 fat.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll leave you with this to sum up Microsoft and where they're going right now. The new Xbox Slimline, when you've got a disc in the Slimline, you can't pick it up. If you pick up your Slimline while a disc is in and playing, it will scratch the fuck out of it. You will hear it. I've seen YouTube videos on it where somebody picked up a Slimline and their disc got absolutely buggered, and they've actually got on the front of the disc a warning sign that please do not touch your Xbox while in use. So I know most people don't do that, but I think it's quite comical that they invented something that they're still using the old disc drives. Basically, they haven't kind of gone over to the new kind of disc eaters, as I call it. So.
If you move your PS3, for example, I've never ever had a scratch disc on my PS3.
No, neither have I.
So really, they should have taken that specific design cue of the PlayStation 3 and chucked it into the Xbox. A slot loading drive. But of course, DVD media as it is dying. It's only about something like 5-10 gig on a DVD, whilst you can get 100 gig on a Blu-ray disc. So, Microsoft have chucked themselves into a hole by not adopting the new technologies.
Yeah. It's a shame. They had so much hype about them a few years ago, but they sort of petered out and ran out of ideas. But I guess everyone has. So I think it's been a tough old year for gaming in general. So.
Right. So that's really what we have time to talk about today. And that's if I wasn't eating chocolate. So really, just some general updates for the site itself. We're working on more audio reviews, interviews, and things like that. We're going to bring that in soon enough. It's going to be part of the podcast, so we're going to have something like a podcast, then a review of a product, an interview, another review, and then the podcast again. So we're going to try and make it more of a monthly sort of thing where we're bringing out content weekly, so we don't bore the living hell out of you. So hopefully that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks or months. So it should all be really good. And
cool.
So this will all be posted up on our YouTube channel, which is of course youtube.com/the gaming forum video. Isn't exactly the best name, or you can just go to tgforums.co.uk/youtube.html, and that'll just put you straight onto the our YouTube channel. So that's all I gotta leave you with. All the guys, you all got anything else to add?
No, just sayonara.
Thanks for having me. I was putting it short notice, but I don't really mind. I quite enjoyed it, so thanks very much.
Yeah, it's always nice to do a podcast.
Well, hopefully we'll be doing this monthly, so we'll all have a laugh once in a while. So, everyone, thanks for listening, and hope to bring an update for you soon. Ta-ra!
See you, bye.
Bye.
Love you.